Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is week 3 in our course B207A. In today's lecture, we will continue our discussion about marketing, the marketing function. We will today discuss very important 3 concepts in marketing function, which are segmentation, targeting, and positioning. The title of our discussion today is Focusing on an Offering. These are the learning outcomes for our discussion today. By the end of this lecture, you are supposed to understand the process of segmentation, targeting, and positioning, also the concepts and the process of the 3 important concepts. And you will be able to learn how to choose between segmentation variables and targeting strategies, and how to be able to formulate an offering positioning. Let's start with the segmentation and the targeting, why we do segmentation and why targeting is important. What's the meaning of segmentation? Segmentation means making the markets or dividing the market into parts. اسمها بالعربي تجزئة السوق. يعني ايه تجزئة السوق؟ يعني السوق بالكامل بيتقسم لأجزاء. We make or we divide the market into segments. Segments يعني قطاع سوقي أو جزء من السوق. Why we do this? Why we do segmentation? We do segmentation because this market, as we will say in a moment, is comprised of many people. These people have different needs, they have different wants, and they have different preferences. So all organizations cannot satisfy these needs all at once. So what they do, they make segmentation of the market and then choose which market segment they will serve. Okay? And the last step is positioning. Positioning is to make a distinct image in the mind of the customer, a distinct image of the product of the organization in the mind of the market. So simply these are the 3 steps we will talk about today. Let's start with the definition of the market. What are markets? You can say ما هو السوق؟ يعني إيه سوق? What is a market? A market you can say مثلا a market you can define it as a geographical area. مثلا you say the market is in this area, in this neighborhood, or in this street. There is a market. So you are defining here the market into a geographical perspective or from a geographical perspective. Or you can say the market مثلا is the mall. The mall is a market. So you say here from an economic perspective, where the buyer and the sellers meet. You can define the market as this, as the place where the buyer and seller meet. You can define the market as this, but it will be from an economic perspective. But when I say the market from the marketing perspective, we mean by market a group of people. A group of people. Market here is comprised of people or organization. These people have a need and they have certain characteristics. What are these characteristics? We will say the market is a group of people اللي هم consumers or organizations that have different characteristics. They have a need. They must have a need. يعني all people which don't have any need, so they are not my market. Okay, so they must have a need, they must have the ability. The ability means the power, the purchasing power. They have the money, they have the willingness. Willingness means that they are willing to spend the money on products, and also they have the authority to purchase products. يعني ايه هنا authority? What do we mean here by authority? We mean by authority that if they have the need and the ability and the willingness, they can buy. يعني for example, there are مثلا some products cannot be bought by children مثلا like cigarettes or alcohol drinks. يعني minors 18 years old, under 18 years old cannot buy stuff. Or even children, they are not allowed to buy alone from the supermarkets. They are not allowed. Only grown-ups can buy stuff for them. مفيش طفل صغير هيروح يشتري أغراض، يعني محدش هيسمح له بده. So the market is defined as people who have certain characteristics and they can buy products. Of course, these people, they have different needs, they have different demands, they have different preferences, they have different characteristics, so they don't all need the same thing. يعني احنا كده بنقول بالعربي الأذواق مختلفة وعشان كده المنتجات مختلفة. So markets need to focus on the subset of the market to ensure a good fit between the organizational offering and the consumer need. We need to make sure that our product fits the customer need. That's why we are dividing up market into smaller group of people, which is called segmentation. This is the essence of segmentation. هو ده جوهر تجزئة السوق. So in this slide we discuss the definition of segmentation as the process of grouping customers in the market. تجزئة الكاستمرز اللي موجودين في الماركت اللي هم مالهم with some heterogeneity، عدم تجانس، they are different, they have different characteristics, into what? Into smaller and more similar or homogeneous segments. So we divide these people which are different than each other into groups, more homogeneous groups, more homogeneous segments. Homogeneous means they are not different, they are similar to each other. So we divide people that are different than each other into each group, the customers in each group into smaller groups which are homogeneous and similar to each other. Why we do this? To be prepared for the next step, which is targeting. Before going to targeting, we need to know the basis for segmentation. We have actually many bases, actually four bases for segmentation. Segmentation أكيد يعني التجزئة. So we can divide or we can make markets into parts based on four bases. We can divide people according to their demographic factors. Demographic factors means according to their age, according to their gender, according to their ethnicity, religion, according to many things. Demographic means العوامل الديموغرافية, which يعني these are the characteristics of population. The demographic basis اللي هي that divides people or divide the population according to their age, according to their gender, according to their income, according to their education. These are called the demographic factors. يعني for example, if one cosmetic company wanted to divide or make segmentation for the population، مثلا ممكن ان هي تقسم to make the market into men and women, and they decide to use or to make cosmetics for women مثلا، تعمل الكوزماتكس بتاعتها عشان السيدات، او تعمل الكوزماتكس بتاعتها موجهه للرجال or whatever. ممكن تقسمهم على حسب السن. they can divide according to age, according to family size. ممكن تقدم منتجات بحجم كبير family size or بحجم صغير وهكذا. So they can divide the population according to demographic variables. Also, they can divide population according to geographic variables, where they live, according to the country, the state, the city, the neighborhood, rural area, urban area. So these according to geographic factors. Also, we have these factors اللي هي psychographic factors، العوامل السايكوغرافية اللي هي الهوبيز واللايف ستايل والبيرسوناليتي. So for example, one company can make healthy products, gluten free for people with a certain lifestyle and according to personality, according to motives. So many products actually are provided to people according to their psychographics. The last factors we have, which is the behavioristic factors اللي هي العوامل المرتبطة بالسلوك. So according to the human behavior, according to the usage, according to اللي هو الفوليوم rate يعني how much we use according to the benefit, according to price sensitivity and loyal. So we actually can make segmentation according to all these factors. As you can see here, you can find all the four bases for segmentation, the demographic variables here, and here are some examples, according to the geographic variables, according to psychographic variables, and according to the behavioral variables. Now let's move to a very important point in segmentation. That's when we want to understand or to make sure that segmentation is effective. Because sometimes organizations do some segmentation efforts and they are not effective. So what makes segmentation effective? Let's see. For segmentation to be effective, they must be measurable. Measurable means easy to measure, or the segmentation variables can be identified easily. So, for example, if you want to make segmentation according to age or according to gender, this is very easy to measure. If you want to make segmentation according to gender, so you will easily differentiate between men and women. If you want to make segmentation according to age, so it's easily according to the number, according to how old the customers are. So it's easy, but sometimes segmentation is very hard and not effective because they depend on some really tough measures. For example, if we want to make segmentation according to the motive, that why persons react or behave like this. So for the behavioristic factors or the psychographic variables, sometimes they are very difficult to measure. But other measures like the demographic, for example, it's easy to measure. So they are more effective when they are measurable. مثلا, let's take an example of a cosmetic company that wanted to differentiate or divide the market into men and women, and they decided to focus their target or focus their cosmetics on for women مثلا. This is very easy. خلاص بتقسم السوق ايه عايزين نعمل for men and women, and we will produce some cosmetics for women. This is very easy. Okay. ممكن further segmentation according to the women age. This is also easy, but there are some measures that are very difficult. So to make the segmentation effective, they must be measurable. The second measure is to be accessible. Accessible means that you can actually access this market to make a segmentation for it. So it's not logic if you don't have access to the market, if you cannot provide anything to this market and you make segmentation. Why you do segmentation? You cannot reach this market and you cannot serve. Accessible is very linked to actionable. Actionable means that you can really make a marketing program for this market. If you cannot access the market, and if you cannot do a marketing program for this market or for this segment, why you do segmentation from the first place? It's not logic. Okay. For segmentation to be effective, the segment must be substantial. What substantial means? Means important, means large enough to serve, profitable enough to serve. So if you make segmentation and the segments of the market is not profitable, just the organization need to ignore it because it's not substantial, it's not important. عدد الناس اللي فيها مش كتير لدرجة ان احنا نقدم لهم منتجات خاصة بيهم. They are not large enough to provide they are not large enough. The customers in the segment are not large enough to serve and to be profitable. Also, segmentation must be to be effective, they must be differentiable. Differentiable means they are different. Actually, this is the first measure that need to be taken into consideration. To do segmentation, they must be different. If they are not different, why you make segmentation? Why you make division of the market if they are not different? They must be different to make segmentation. هو احنا في الأساس بنعمل segmentation ليه؟ لأن الناس مختلفة عن بعض. They have different preferences, they have different needs, they have different demands, they like different products. That's why we make segmentation. So if they are not different, so don't make segmentation. As easy as this. Next we go to targeting. Targeting is the next step. After we divide the market into segments, now organization need to select the segment of consumers or customers they want to serve. That this segment is called the target market. السوق المستهدف. ما هو السوق المستهدف or the target market؟ هي اسمها كده بالعربي. targets اللي انت بتستهدفه. The particular portion of the population, the portion that you divided earlier in segmentation, الجزء اللي انت اقتسمته او جزأته قبل كده في segmentation in our earlier step, which is identified by the marketeer to be the most likely to purchase your product. So for example, if a company divided the market into male and female, they مثلا target male products, or they target female products, or they target children, or they target elderly people. For whatever, they decided to serve certain targets. Okay, that means that if I make segmentation, I only need to target one segment? لا. Some organizations choose to serve different targets with different products. عادي جدا. They can do this. But first they have to do segmentation and they decide which portion, بين قوسين, portions or segments, between brackets, segments they will serve. This is the meaning of targeting. So as we said before, targeting is very important, and as we said in the definition, determining which segment or segments to target. This is targeting. Actually, this depends on many factors. We have to do, or organization need to do, marketing research and analysis, comprehensive marketing research and analysis. And the organizations must take into consideration many factors. Among these factors are customer needs and wants. They have to take this into consideration, of course. They have to take into consideration the competitors, what they are offering, what they are offering to customers, and how they target their customers. And they have to take also into consideration the organization's competencies and resources. The organization competencies and resources will affect how we target our market. For example, if we have low resources, we maybe target only one segment. If we have more good financial position and more power, and we have a lot of market share and we want to serve more, so according to these resources and the competencies, we can serve more than one segment. Moving from the targeting definition we discussed before, let's move to the types of targeting strategies. As you can see here in this figure, we have 4 types of targeting strategies. The first targeting strategy is the undifferentiated strategy. Undifferentiated means that I treat all the market as one whole. Undifferentiated, عدم تمايز. I don't differentiate between one segment and the other segment. That's why you can see here that all the market, although it is segmented, بالرغم ان هو مجزأ into segments, however, we deal with all the market as one whole, making the same offer to the whole market. So this marketing strategy is intended to appeal to as many people as possible. For example, you can take the example of Coca-Cola. They use the undifferentiated strategy for making a marketing for their products to all people without differentiation. This is the first targeting strategy. The second targeting strategy is the opposite, is differentiated. So I deal with each segment as different one. That's why I provide here a product to this segment, another product to this segment, and another product to this segment. So making different offers to different market segments. That's why you find here with different colors. Different colors mean that the organization is providing here a product to this segment, another product to this segment, and another product of this segment. For example, think of one car manufacturer, مثلا, Toyota. Toyota may be providing an economic car to a segment of people, a luxury car for another segment of people, and maybe a family car or a sport car to another segment of people. So they are providing different types of products to different segments of people. That's what differentiation means. The third type of strategy is the concentrated. The concentrated strategy do not offer several products to several segments. They only offer one product for one segment. طيب, you can ask me what is the difference between this and this. This is providing one product and this is providing one product. Yes, but I'm providing this product to all people. However, I provide this product to a segment of the market, not for all. Think of a luxury car, مثلا Rolls Royce or Aston Martin or whatever. They are providing only for the niche market. They are providing a product for niche market segment of people, not all people. Going more and more specific, the customized strategy, and sometimes we call one-to-one marketing. يعني in each segment, even in each segment, we can provide different products to different people inside the same segment. This is very customized, very detailed. When we allow people, for example, to choose their specifications in their car, يعني مثلا some car manufacturers allow specific people to choose specific options in their car, and they make it tailor-made, يعني كأنهم بيفصلوا العربية لصاحبها. This is very, very customized strategy. So, moving from a very general strategy to a very specific strategy, this is what we call the targeting strategy. We still in the targeting, we hear this is the difference between undifferentiated, differentiated, concentrated, and finally the customized strategies. The final concept we will talk about today is positioning. It comes from the word position. Position يعني المكانة, position, مكان. Positioning, creating a position of the product, the organization product, into the minds of the customers. We want to create a position مكان معين. So if I say to you Subway, what do you think about Subway? You maybe answer, fresh ingredients and healthy food. This is the position Subway created in your mind. Maybe this is not true, but this is what is created in your mind. If I said BMW to you, what do you think? Very luxurious car and durable car, and the mechanical engineering is very good, and you have certain characteristics in your mind when you hear about a specific product. This is actually what positioning is. When organizations try to create a positioning for their products in the minds of the customer, they used a very popular technique or a tool called Perceptual Positioning Map. زي خريطة كده ذهنية. Perceptual Map. What is the perceptual map or market mapping? Sometimes called this. It's like a technique that's used by the organization to make a diagram, a diagrammic technique. that attempts to have a display, visual display of the perception of the customer or the potential customer about the all products and brands. Okay, the positioning of the products is actually influenced by the customer perception إدراك الcustomers دول more than the businesses. So sometimes the customers are influenced by these perceptions rather than by those of businesses. Let's have a look at one of the perceptual positioning maps and understand what it is. This is a perceptual map, perceptual positioning map. You can see that this visually you can see where the position of each brand, here we are talking about car brands, into the mind of the consumer. Okay, we can use different elements. For example, we can use the element of the price and the element of the quality, and ask the customers to put the brands of the car brands into one of the four spaces here. So for example, the customer perceive بيدركوا in the Infinity cars and the Mini Cooper cars are very high price and low quality. However, in the other side, the BMW, Audi and Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, they are yes high price but high quality. Honda, Ford, Toyota, low price, high quality. Volkswagen, Citroën, Renault and Kia, they are low quality and low price. Yeah, this is one. I'm not discussing if this is true or not, but this is an example of perceptual positioning map. So for example, if Kia Motors wanted to decide what to do, say they wanted to convince people that they are not low quality, they are high quality with very good price to move from here to here. So they are trying to do this. This is actually the tool or the technique that helps organization to do this, to create a favorable position in the minds of consumers. Here is an example of Toyota. Toyota, when they wanted to make a positioning, they must be their heritage into account, their legacy. So when Toyota wanted to move into a luxury car, they created the Lexus brand. يعني عشان ما تربطش, so the customers do not link the luxury car with Toyota. Toyota is perceived as affordable car. So when Toyota wanted to present or to create a luxury car into the market, they provided a new brand and name it Lexus. So they are not previously known, the Lexus name were not previously known, and they are not linked to Toyota. So people, when they heard the Lexus name, they do not link it to Toyota, so they don't take the same position in the mind of the customer. لكن if Toyota provided the luxury car with the same name, هيجي على طول في ذهن الناس, ذهن الكونسيومر, ان هي affordable and it's not luxury. هتخسر من الصورة الذهنية دي. The image of the new car is destroyed because it is linked to the Toyota name. That's why they created the Lexus car, a new name, so they are not linked with the old Toyota name. They created the two lines of car offering. This is a luxury car, this is affordable and economic car. Finally, some organizations, when they do positioning for their brands, they use the strap line. The strap line means the statement the organization linked to their brands when they communicate about it. We have many examples of strapline here, but I have some other examples that you might think of. يعني مثلا the strapline of Apple is think different. Okay, this is the strapline of Apple, and make you think that Apple is wants you to enhance your thinking and use the new technology. Okay, L'Oreal, because you are worth it. Nike, just do it. Okay, Tesco, the famous British supermarket, every little helps. That means that they make the positioning of in your mind that Tesco is making some savings for you. Every little helps. Okay. Also, we have some examples here. The national British newspaper, the Times in newspaper. Quality journalism wherever and whenever. The Royal National Lifeboat Institution, the charity that saves lives at sea. حركة أطباء بلا حدود, Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders. Medical aid where it is needed most. Independent, neutral, and impartial. الstrapline بتاع BMW, the ultimate driving machine. See what it wants to يعني put image in your head, the ultimate driving machine. The industrial and automotive lubricant brand Castrol, اللي هو زيت العربيات. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. Lindt بتاعت الشوكولاتة. متر, chocolatier, Suisse depuis 1845. Okay, so this is in French, so I don't know. Anyway, so this is the positioning of, or the strap line of many of the products. What organization wants to put into your mind? What Subway زي ما احنا اتكلمنا, eat fresh, تمام, many things. كمان ايه, McDonald's, I'm loving it. Many things, many strap lines organizations are using to connect or communicate their brand with your mind. Okay, that's our lecture for today. I hope it is easy for you. Thank you very much for listening, and meet you inshallah in our next lecture.